Hey guys, welcome back to another video. We are going to take a quick look over at Kingdom Hearts 3. We've got Sora with Maleficent, and so it says that we have two different Keyblades in here, the Diablo and the Starlight, and all we really see is this, so I'm not sure if it's referring to something else, but we're going to go and take a closer look at this and see what we think of this. So, we have got nice little packaging. This is by Diamond Select Toys. I really do like the fact that we have a series that combines Disney with Square Enix and like all these extra characters, you know? I mean, I love that. Because let's be honest, like, there's a lot of good things to come from Disney, a lot of good things to come from Square Enix, and to bring that whole universe to life and merge it all, that's just wonderful. So let's go ahead and open him up and take a look at both these figures and see what we think. Straight out of the packaging, it appears we do only have that Starlight Keyblade. I'm not sure what it's referring to on here when it talks about with Diablo and Shooting Star Keyblade. I'm assuming the Diablo thing is supposed to be Maleficent's staff, but I could be wrong, and just like I don't know. I've always just heard of this Keyblade referred to as the Starlight Keyblade, so I'm not entirely sure. So let's go ahead and pull these guys out and take a look at them. They are in here with these little heavy zip tie kind of things here. Let's see if we, yeah, there we go. And it looks like we only have the two of them, so it shouldn't be too hard. But Sora is also tied in with these elasticy bits here. So let's go and rip him out. Alright, so that we've got Sora. We're going to take a look at him first. And we do have this head on a ball joint is what it seems like. We can like sit here and just move his head kind of any which way we want. As you can hear, it is quite squeaky. Diamond Select isn't really the best for figures, in my personal opinion. I have never really gotten anything I've found particularly overly praiseworthy. Like, they make some decent things. That's going to bring me to another point. The way that he's got these very, very scrawny, skinny arms and joints, and they're very squared. I don't really like having that bump there. I mean, it's ain't too bad, but he does got decent articulation, a lot better articulation than I expected. The only thing that I don't like is that he's got this double knee joint here, but the top of the knee joint is very big, and then the bottom of the knee joint's very small. That big piece is what wants to move when you want to move him for the most part. But that also might have just been because, I mean, you can get him to, straight up like kick his own ass and everything, I mean, like, let's be honest, like, Sora pisses us all off at multiple points. I'm try to do it this way here. So we have got head. We can just kind of do what we want with that, twisting and kind of bending it and angling it how we want it. So that's nice. Up and down with the shoulder out, we've got good articulation. Then we've got that elbow just back and forth. We can twist it as well to kind of give us what we want. And then we do got wrist articulation, and that goes for both sides of this figure. And then we do got a nice range for the legs. You can straight up like do pretty much what you want with him, so that's pretty nice. Now then we've got that double knee joint there, and then also that foot is on a nice peg and back and forth, so you can kind of position that foot exactly where you want it if you need it for extra stability or whatever, because he does got those big feet. So we could probably even get him to stand on his own just like this if we position him right. I almost had him. We're not going to mess around with this too much, but you get the gist of it. We could balance him out. Only issue that I'm having with him, he does come with a nice little Starlight Keyblade, and we do have that charm on there as well. But this is one solid piece with one little key link here. So, I mean, like, that's where you're getting your keychain movement, because this keychain itself is actually one solid piece. It is a nice little mold. It does perfectly represent that Starlight Keyblade. But bringing me to my main concern on this, he's got these very wide open hands, and that is a very small thing. So, I mean, you got to put that in his hands, and, like, it's just loose, and it's wiggling around in there. He's not really going to hold it really the way you want him to. I did try to position him about to see if you could maybe get him holding it with both his hands to kind of do the whole little, you know, like point out, like from Kingdom Hearts 2 and stuff, you know. And like you can kind of get him to put both his hands on it, but you can't really get him to keep a grip on it. If you just wanted to pose him, like, you know, there's ways that you could totally get him to pose around with that, but it's ultimately, in my opinion, I'm not a fan. Let's just leave it at that. I do actually like the figure because he does have good articulation. He does not look, I mean, he's got that fucking cheap little Sora, I'm always happy smile and everything. His necklace is part of the mold, which means that the paint job on it and the mold on it is kind of trash, but his outfit does look nice, and like his paint scheme is pretty well done. I mean, I do have some gripes. I mean, like, you know, like that belt, like you can obviously tell, like, meh. And like, all in all, I do like this figure. I like it. It's nice, especially because, like, I mean, like, let's be honest, Sora's got that crazy anime hair going for him, and like, you got all of the detail that you would want on there for something of this caliber. Like, you know, he's not high end, he's not like super collector worthy or anything, but he's a nice little figure. Now, moving on to Maleficent. First thing I noticed about her when I took her out of the package is that she is hollow, like straight up hollow. She is a figure from basically here and to the arms and everything, but this waist down, like that's all just one hollow piece and everything. She comes with her scepter, which is what I'm assuming is supposed to be that Diablo thing they're talking about on the box and everything. But I mean, she does have articulation in her arms, but that articulation is heavily restricted because of, you know, the gown, dress, whatever you want to call her little thing and everything. You can't move that forward. You can get a nice range of articulation going for you, like you can bend that arm forward and everything, which makes that look kind of weird in my opinion. Not too bad, not too much to really gripe about with that. And then she does kind of have the same setup on the head, but you can't fully utilize that because of her little collar and the way that that's set up. So, I mean, you're not getting as much range on her head as you would like. So, you kind of got to take it for what you got. You know, you can still do some things with it, but... And then she does have... a little, that she has that waist movement, and her waist movement's really nice. You know, it feels like this bottom piece is attached on like a ball peg or something, is what I'm assuming it is, because if you've got that, you can get jiggy with her, you know, you can just and whatever. So you can get her just straight up. That's a nice pose in my opinion. You know, I mean, she's got kind of the same problem going on with her hand and her scepter, but like she holds that scepter a lot better than Sora holds that Keyblade. because she's got the smaller, more petite hands. She doesn't got like the whole anime like crazy thing going on. You know, you can get her to praise the sun and whatnot. You know, you can kind of get her to, you know, you can get a range with her. You know, ain't nothing super fabulous. Let's get a little more up close of this. Like, see, I just knocked that out just by grabbing her and everything. Now let's look at that hand, where that is, where this is, and pushing that into her hand. It is loose in there, as you can see. Like, these figures aren't really made with the ideal of being... They're not really made with the ideal of being played with. Once you kind of get them in that pose, that's kind of where you want them. And honestly, like, I would suggest, like, if you're just gonna pose them and leave them, honestly, I would probably super glue this into Sora's hand. Maleficent, I don't really see her having like as big of a deal with doing anything with like that scepter. That scepter kind of stays pretty well if you're not like, you know, messing around with her. You start messing around with her, that scepter is gonna kind of do what it wants. Now it does come with nice little you got a green ball. Reminds me of that, which makes me think you can take this off. It's exactly what you can do. So you can take your little raven off and you can put this spare green ball that it comes with on top of her thing, so you can have it without the bird being perched. Let's be honest, that raven crow being there perched looks a lot better, in my opinion. Maybe you don't think so. So you do have that option to, if we can get this back off, swap them out and do what you want with it. I prefer the raven, the crow, whatever you want to call it. Who knows these days. Then you get this little, you know, licensed product, and I assume this just has like some other things that they do. So, Maleficent, Sora. I do like this set, don't get me wrong. Diamond has never sold me on anything outside of their statues, and even at that, a lot of their statues feel on the cheaper side. But it's definitely, if you're a Kingdom Hearts fan, I honestly, most everything I've ever bought Kingdom Hearts wise for figures has been Diamond. I don't know if anybody else actually does them. If you know, drop me a comment because I'd love to check them out. But yeah, thanks guys.